Hello, everyone. My name is Rutuja, and I am super excited to host today's episode of Get Psyched. Before we begin, I would like to give you a short disclaimer. Now, let's move on to today's. What's going on? Is somebody there?
Hey, Rutuja.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh my god!
Hello.
Hi! Am I going to die?
Well, no, sadly.
Sadly,
Yeah, relax. It's just me, Kushagra.
it's you?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Come on, dude. It's Halloween. I did it for fun.
Ugh.
Why do you get scared, though?
I mean, with that makeup, who wouldn't get scared?
Come on. No, but seriously, why did you get scared?
I mean, I guess it's because I didn't know what was going to happen to me. Come on, man. Like, it's late at night and I have nothing to defend myself with.
So the thing is, we need fear. Without fear, we won't be able to stay alive. Because it's like a mechanism within our body to, steer us away from fears. So, for example, in the past, if you'd see a tiger, you'd feel fear, you'd run away. If not, then, well, you'll die, right? If you see fire in your house, again, you're going to feel fear. Either you extinguish it, which is, well, a fight response, or you run away again, or you die. Also, if you don't thank Beyonce in your speech, well, you die.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows?
Speaking of, we would like to thank Beyonce for unknowingly helping the Psychology Club with this podcast. Please don't kill us. I have a wife and kids at home. I don't, but moving on. So, yeah, my point is we really need fear. It's something which we cannot live without, literally.
So, I guess what you're trying to say is the fear starts off in our mind and then it has a physical reaction, which I believe there's this tiny part in your brain. It's almost bean shaped, and uh, it as soon as you recognize fear, that bean shaped organ actually starts working, and it's pretty much the same as the flight or fight response that you explained.
Yeah.
So we do need fear in the sense that it keeps us safe. It's a complex human emotion, and I guess it can be positive or healthy. So my reaction to you scaring me was perfectly fine.
I guess so, yeah. So another study that I'd like to point out would be Kurt Reisler's study, The Social Psychology of Fear. So one of the aspects it talks about is how fear can be used to influence like political situations.
Political situation.
Yeah. So basically, by making people fear the opposition's intentions, you can basically manipulate people into thinking that they should favor you or they should favor you more. Sort of like, even if they don't favor you, they just don't like the other person and they hate you less.
That sounds like the lesser of two evils.
I guess so, yeah. So, for example, a cunning diplomat like you, Rutuja, would convince you guys that a man literally dressed like a clown would ruin this country by his, well, antisocial buffoonery. You wouldn't do that, right?
No, not today.
hmm I believe you. Yeah. So another one of the points that I'd like to highlight about Reisler was how he says that you don't necessarily need a specific stimuli that needs to invoke danger or just fear within you. You can even do that with uncertain things. Uncertainty and ambiguity is one of the ways you can just invoke fear in people. So again, in the situation of a political, well, rivalry, you can manipulate people, and that could really make people take irrational decisions, irrational thought process. It's something which can not just impact political opinions; it can even impact social structures.
Interesting. So it's actually very amazing how fear just alters our brain to such an extent that we are inclined to taking such irrational and almost erratic decisions.
Exactly.
What's with the lights today? I don't think it was supposed to rain.
Yeah, it's not rained for a few days. It's probably not the weather.
Oh my god, do you think it's a ghost?
Relax, dude. You get freaked out so easily. It's probably some electrical issue at play.
My fears are valid, okay? Come on.
They're valid, but there wasn't anything that's gonna hurt you right now, was there?
I guess I don't really understand why I got scared even when there was no direct sign of danger.
Oh, it's convenient you say that actually. I wanted to talk to you about Smile, the
Smile?
movie. Have you watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, have you? Okay, good. So, you know how in that movie there's like multiple scenes of people smiling as a sign of a demon, like being like possessing them, right?
Yeah.
And that's supposed to freak you out, and it really does. It's very unsettling for me. But the
Right.
thing is, a smile is sort of used to represent something that's joyous, right?
It
It's
does.
supposed to represent a happy emotion or something like that. But I'm not sure why I was creeped out by it.
Interesting question. So I guess horror movies in general are known to be creepy because they kind of tap into our deep-rooted fears like the fear of the unknown, loss of control, and I don't know, death, gore. There's various kinds. It's it's honestly really intimidating. It's so intimidating. It's almost interesting.
Yeah, the uncertainty really gets to me as well.
Right. And they often use unsettling visuals like uncanny characters or music or human features.
Yeah.
It's it's just to make us uncomfortable, which is what separates it from the regular fear that we get from creepy crawlies. Like killing a bug, I could do that every other Tuesday. I will not go into a room if someone tells me there's a ghost inside. Like, no,
Yeah.
thank you. Or Kushagra, same difference. But, anyways, I guess it's the feeling of helplessness as maybe film characters, they kind of feel hopeless. They don't know what to do. And we sort of relate with that. We empathize with them. And we start feeling that level of anxiousness as well.
I've actually experienced that myself. Like whenever I watched a horror movie, I've sort of put myself in the main character's shoes. So when we talk about empathy, that's what I thought of. Because like, even in the movie Smile again, I'd picture myself being there. I'd picture seeing people smile that way. And my response honestly is just like burning the house and just going away, learning French and living in the Alps.
That's a valid
Yeah.
response.
That's true. That's the difference between fear and terror, I feel. Fear is towards more, I guess, defined things, while terror talks more about, just existential things, stuff which you do not have control over. As you said, ghosts. Like the example that you gave, spiders, yes, we can kill, but when it's like ghosts or something else, some supernatural power, you can't really do anything about that, can you? So
That's
it's
fair.
sort of a philosophical concept, terror, because, well, you're powerless against stuff like that. So I'd like to talk about the various kinds of terror there are. So as I said, existential is one of them, where again you're powerless, right? Then there's psychological terror, in which it basically targets internal stuff more. It basically makes you question whether something's real or not. Yeah.
Hmm.
So have you seen the movie Shining?
No, I haven't. Tell me about it.
Oh, you should watch it. So it's one of those movies which dives into these psychological terrors. And then another type of terror is gore. So personally, my dad's a surgeon, and looking at his gallery, it's made me immune to gore.
Yeah,
So
I can
even
see
though
that very, very clearly.
really, damn. So even though most of my friends are like very icky towards gore, I don't really care.
Hmm.
Yeah. So then there's supernatural terror, which is, well, as the name suggests, it's mostly about it's mostly about ghosts and, well, powers that you cannot control. It's sort of linked with existential, but not really. So that's that. Then there's atmospheric terror.
Atmospheric
It's the
terror.
most interesting one for me. It's more towards it. It dives more towards cinematography and how
Oh,
that is used to invoke terror in people. The sound effects that are used in
right.
movies. They're like, I saw a study about it actually. How those sound effects, if you remove them, horror movies just lose most of what they're, boasted about.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, you're right. It is the music that really gets me going.
Hmm.
Other than that, I feel like the most, no hate, the most, like the cheapest kind of terror is jump scares.
Yeah.
I despise jump scares as a form of trying to scare the audience
Hmm.
because, like I said, it's it's cheap in the sense it's really low level.
Exactly. It's not really hitting anything deep. It's like, oh, it's just startling you
Yeah,
pretty
like you
much.
did this like earlier today,
Oh,
but
come on. That was good. I tried, okay.
it was cheap. But
Okay. Fair
anyways,
enough. Yeah. But yeah, I personally agree with you on that. I am also someone who does not like jump scares. Like, not because they scare me. I'm very hard to scare, by the way. But yeah, it's just, have you played the game Five Nights at Freddy's?
I've heard of it, but I haven't
Yeah,
played
it's
it.
basically that. It's just the characters half of the time aren't even all that scary. It's just they come at you at very unexpected times, so you just never know.
Hmm. If anything, from what I've seen of the characters, they're quite cute. A
That's
robot,
interesting,
a
Rituja.
robot bear. Come on.
Honestly, I'm not surprised since it's coming from
Anyways, moving on. I guess it all just comes back to the ambiguity of threat, the
you. Yeah.
uncertainty, the fear. Um, Adding on to that, there's unpredictable behavior, there's violation of social norms, maybe.
What do you mean unpredictable behavior?
I'm referring to behavior that isn't socially acceptable. Him, for example.
Wow, I see.
There's also violation of social norms, as I mentioned. There's creepy people or just things that violate what we are expecting. That's what norms are, our expectations. And when those are violated, we're uncomfortable. We, as humans, don't know how to deal with change. We don't know how to cope with change.
Hmm.
And that discomfort often leads to that feeling of eeriness, that feeling of creepiness.
Not sure about fear, but I felt something similar when I came to Flame. That was a major change for me, honestly. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's not just the unpredictability. Something that adds on to it is the uncanny valley. So what that basically is elements which are sort of close to being human, but they're not exactly that. There's something or the other that is off about them. Like a creepy doll with human teeth, like just a teddy bear. Imagine that.
Oh
So
my
it's
god.
not exactly human-like, but it has those human characteristics which makes it unsettling. Why that is because you're basically uncertain about whether it's a friend or a foe, and that's something which also contributes to it. You're not sure, you're ambiguous about it being something that's going to hurt you or not. And it's the same with masks, actually.
Not
Yeah.
just masks, I guess it relates to clowns as well because
Hmm.
with their exaggerated makeup, I really have no idea what your intentions were when you first came and scared me. Because,
Uh-huh.
I mean, come on. I could not tell what that smile was, what the intention behind that smile was.
Hmm.
I was scared, rightfully so. It's it honestly reminded me of the 2016 killer clown phenomena where people just dressed up as clowns and they chased people. I mean, why would you dress up as something that is supposed to be a children's party performer?
Hmm.
Come on. That's that's a new level of low, honestly.
Huh.
But either way, I guess it's not knowing what their intentions are, not knowing whether you're supposed to or maybe even are allowed to trust them,
Yeah.
that really gets to us.
I heard that that phenomenon like made schools like get holidays and stuff or something like that. Basically invoked some sort of response by the government. Maybe we should do that with Flame. We'd actually get a proper term break instead of the weekend.
We need to cut that part out, but anyway,
No wonder my makeup scared you, Rutuja.
I mean, I do associate clowns with killers more than I associate them with performers at a children's party.
Hmm.
All you need is a little more blood, and you would have me crying.
It's funny you say that because, well, I've already made many women cry.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Rutuja, can we get this part out?
Hmm.
Wow. Okay, I see how it is. Well, it's funny you say that because speaking of the people in my basement, remember?
Huh?
One of them was actually kind enough to lend me their
That's
fingers.
oh my god! That's disgusting!
I know.
Are you insane? Let go! What are you doing with that?
It's fake.
Kush-
Come on.
It's fake?
Yeah. Take a look.
But it's so realistic and disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
For someone who hates it so much, you've been looking at it for too long.
I mean, I guess there's something alluring about it. I'm almost drawn to it. I'm curious, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I guess the right term for it is macabre. Do you know anything about it?
So about macabre, it's basically our fascination with gross, grotesque things. Have you ever watched a video of a train wreck? You know
Hmm.
something bad is gonna happen. You know something unfortunate is gonna take place, and yet you're gonna watch it. You're gonna watch the full video. That's something ironic about us. Even though these things are, well, very deadly or just violent, we're still gonna watch it. Even a car chase, for example, it's something that fascinates us. Have you ever
Hmm.
played GTA 5? You just go around killing people, and that's also something which people are very much entertained by. It's one of the most popular games, like excluding Minecraft or something.
I mean, I guess since we're talking about how ironic it is, I would like to talk about cognitive dissonance. It's when we have like contradictory beliefs. Because yes, I find certain things gross, and yes, I also find them equally fascinating. I mean, spiders, for example, they're gross. Why do you have 8 legs? You don't need all that, like all those legs. Come on. But
Yeah,
you're so fascinating. Like you have so many legs. It's amazing.
it's intricate, right?
I get it. Like it makes sense. So I guess it is fascinating how we find interest in things that disgust us.
You know what else is fascinating? It's how guilt makes us like desire certain things. Basically, guilt fuels our desires at times.
That's interesting.
Yeah, making something uh, criminalized sort of makes you like want to experience it more.
Hmm.
So what I'm trying to say is like just saying flame banning alcohol in its campus might just encourage people to bring it even more. See, do not quote me on this, but maybe it's just a possibility.
Are you trying to tell us something, Kushagra?
I will not say anything.
Hmm. Very interesting. But let's look at the positives so we can end this on a more happier note. Um, While these grotesque things are insane, they also evoke a sense of empathy in us. I mean, the emotional responses that are on and on and on in our brain, they allow us to put ourselves in the shoes of main characters that are going through crazy, grotesque things, just facing so many hardships.
Yeah.
And when we do that, we are just increasing our levels of empathy, being more sensitive to others in their situation, or I guess sensitive in general, because while we can be appreciative of our lives and how we don't have to go through what they are going through, we feel empathy for them.
Yeah, it sort of makes you wanna just love your friends more, appreciate life more, right?
Right.
So in a way, even though we're talking about such heinous things, it does just improve our life overall.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Love you, Zindagi. Before we wrap this up, I just want to say that I'm so glad we're not actually in a horror movie. What was that?
Who said that? Rutuja? Rutuja, where do you go? Hello? Rutuja, are you there? Hello? Help! Help! Help!